What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is doing well. The Celtics come away with another win, this one coming against the Houston Rockets and Ime Udoka, the final score being 116-107, and the Celtics now move to 33-10 on the regular season. And I gotta say, for this team being as good as they are, the best home start in history, one of the best point differentials in history, and one of the best starts for this franchise in the past 12-15 years, there's so much negativity within the fan base. And listen, I think I can understand where it's coming from. You've been teased by this team for the last few years. You've expected them to win a championship, and they haven't lived up to your expectations. But understand, Jason Tatum is 25, Jaylen Brown is 27. They are just coming into their prime. So just do your best to enjoy this season, because I promise you will look back on this one fondly. Tonight, for example, though, the Celtics got the lead 3 minutes into the game and never gave it up the rest of the way. And then I go on social media after the game, and you would have swore they lost this one by 20 points. And listen, the Rockets went on some runs. They got the game within reach, but that's just the NBA. Every single team you're going up against is extremely talented. And especially this Rockets team, this young talent is developing. They have some new additions. Ime Udoka is the head coach. They're not just going to roll over for you. So I think we all have to do a better job of keeping this perspective, right? When a team goes on a run, especially when it's one that you consider an inferior opponent, it does not mean the Celtics lack dog, the Celtics lack killer instinct. It just happens. It's just part of the NBA. Also, this was just a load management game all around for this Celtics team. You had Drew and Al who did not play at all, and then you have Jason and Jaylen who are out there, but you could tell they're just going through the motions. And I think that's where a lot of the frustration is coming from within the fan base. Jason Tatum and the Celtics just lost to Nikola Jokic. Everybody wanted Tatum to come out and drop 50, have a huge bounce back game, but why did everybody expect that anyway? Because we all know this team is so talented. Tatum doesn't really need to do that. So Tatum is a superstar caliber player who has done a lot of winning in his career in the regular season and in the playoffs. So he's at a point where if I'm judging him off a mid-January game against the Rockets, something has probably went wrong. He's earned these superstar walkthrough games. It is what it is. Jason Tatum is averaging 27, 8, and 4 with the best effective field goal percentage of his career. You don't just walk into that, or you don't achieve that by being inconsistent, right? He is having a fine regular season. You could argue it's one of his best, especially if you include the other side of the ball. But we are not going to judge Jason Tatum off a mid-January game, like I said, against the Rockets. We're going to judge him in the playoffs. We're going to see if he can get that done, and he might or he might not, but let's decide that when we get there. With that little rant being over, let's get to some of the game. Like I said, no Drew, no Al. Al sitting out the first night of a back-to-back. He'll play tomorrow night against the Dallas Mavericks. JT and JB going through the motions, but with them doing that, especially JB affected the game in other ways. Notched his third triple-double of his career, finished with 13 points, 10 assists, 11 rebounds. It definitely wasn't the prettiest triple-double, but this is exactly what everybody has been asking for from Jaylen, right? What can he do when he's not scoring? How else can he affect the game? And this season, he has done that phenomenally. We have seen him go through some of the best playmaking stretches of his career. He has really ratcheted up the intensity on the defensive side of the ball. And tonight, we saw at least one of those things, just really getting guys involved, finished with those 10 assists. The main thing, or the main guy I want to talk about, is Kristaps Porzingis. He finished with 32 points, 5 blocks, 6 rebounds, and 6 3-pointers. I know it's a little bit obscure, but there has only been 3 games in NBA regular season history in which a player has had at least 32 points, 6 threes, and 5 blocks. Kristaps Porzingis has done it 2 times. A stat like that really shows how versatile KP is, being able to knock down 6 threes while also protect the rim at an elite level. But what got me excited about tonight's game, it relates to the Denver one. If anybody listened to that post game, I came on screaming, please get Kristaps involved in late game offense. And not just late game offense, but keep him involved whenever he is on the floor, because last game he had 19 points in the first half, finished with 21, but tonight there was a steady diet of KP throughout the game, but specifically in late game offense. There was 2 post-ups KP had with about 4 or 3 minutes to go. He caught the ball with one of the Thompson twins on him. He turned, faced up, shot it. Easy, right? It is an easy shot, and this team needs to be reminded that that's always there. Whenever Kristaps Porzingis gets the switch, throw him the ball, and yes, even in late game situations, I think you can trust him. The other guy I want to talk about is Derek White. I think it's safe to say he finally broke that JJ Redick podcast curse. Those 5 games there after the podcast release, he was shooting the ball very poorly, but in the 4 games since, he's back up to over 40% from 3 and averaging 20 points, and tonight he grabbed his career high in rebounds with 11 of them. When D White is playing with confidence and his shot is falling like it has been for 95% of the season, this team is unguardable. So please, for the rest of the season, nobody else go on JJ Redick's podcast, especially before the playoffs. Please. I also want to give a shout out to Luke Cornett. Sometimes on these post games, you might hear some Luke Cornett trade talk or that he's not enough for that third big spot, but he's put together some good games tonight. Another one, 8 points, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 2 of those blocks came in the fourth quarter. Luke got subbed in around the 8:30 mark, and he had 2 consecutive stops on Dylan Brooks. Thought those were big momentum plays, really dampened the spirit of the Houston Rockets and helped the Celtics close this game out. But yeah, Celtics win 116-107 in an away game against the Houston Rockets. They are now 33-10. They are projected to win more than 60 games this season. So as I said, guys, before, just relax, okay? Everything's gonna be all right. Just enjoy basketball, all right? But going forward, it's a tough stretch. This team has Dallas tomorrow, then Miami, Clippers, New Orleans, Indiana, LA. I'm curious to see how this team is going to do during that 6-game stretch. If you guys have any predictions, leave them in the comments below. But I'm going to wrap it up right there. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. It's the best and easiest way to support. I'm here after every single Celtics game, all 82 plus the playoffs. I'm not going anywhere. I will talk to you guys. Yes, you'll hear my voice again tomorrow. Unfortunately, Monday, January 22nd, Dallas Mavericks, Kyrie. Peace.